Good evening, everyone. We live in a world. Sorry, we're going to move this a little bit here. There we go. We live in a world where, quite literally, power is almost equivalent to exhaustion. Be loud to show you're strong, busy to be worthy, available all the time to be considered kind. What does that do for us? Your flame doesn't need to be huge to be powerful. It certainly doesn't need to burn all the time either. Setting boundaries is all about your self-respect, not being cruel. You're allowed to have a wall when you're starting to give too much. And resting isn't laziness. It's not anything bad. It's maintenance for yourself. It's necessary maintenance. If guilt shows up when you say no or when you need a moment to rest, stick around because this is for you. To give you an idea, a wildfire destroys everything in its path and eventually including itself. A hearth fire, much like our ancestors used to have, lasts the whole winter. It doesn't stop. In fact, it gives more life than anything ever would. Sustainable power is quiet. It knows when to dim and know when to rise. So today we're going to talk more about containment and less explosion, which I'm quite sure that we could all use a little more of the containment, especially during this season. So let's talk about a couple exercises. One of them is for when it's in the moment, you're already triggered, or somebody is trying to push you into a decision. This is when someone's asking for too much and your mind or your body is already well past its limit. We're going to go over a quick way to do a quick 30-second check and a few phrases to say, not right now. Step one is put your hand, and I always recommend your dominant hand. For me, that would be my left hand. For most of you, that's probably your right hand. And you're going to put it somewhere discreetly. This could be on your thigh or maybe even on your wrist. If you want to put your hands behind your back and just kind of grab your wrist and kind of just slowly count your pulse rhythm. And just touching something will help bring you back to yourself a little bit when you're ready to just kind of leap out of yourself and go, nope, I'll leave everything on autopilot and get back to it later. And while your hand is either on your leg or on your wrist, or if you feel comfortable enough to kind of just rub at your chest a little bit, because that's also a good way to let them know that you're a little stressed out right now, I want you to ask yourself, is this going to make my internal flame flicker and potentially go out? Or is it going to help it grow? And that's when you're going to take a deep breath in and think to yourself, I'm allowed to pause. And as you exhale, power doesn't rush. Inhale, I'm allowed to pause. Exhale, power doesn't rush. Real power is a slow build every time. And if you need a quick phrase off the top of your head, you can say, I can't decide right now, or I need to take a moment before I respond. There is absolutely no reason that you need to give to explain why you need to protect yourself and your energy. That is all you need to say. And if they can't respect that, then maybe they're the problem. Because if you legitimately need a moment to stop, to think, to regroup. You are allowed to have that. You are allowed to have a moment. Nothing short of, we'll say probably an apocalypse, requires you to make a right now decision. Nothing. So anytime that you feel like someone's pushing you, take a moment to inhale. I'm allowed to pause. Exhale. Power doesn't rush. And remember to keep that grip somewhere on you so that you can stay within yourself and stay in that moment, and you are not accidentally on autopilot and agreeing to something that's only going to make you that much worse later. Now, I want to also say you've got an extra moment where you know that you're getting close to that point, but you're not there yet. Let's talk about one of my favorite tarot cards. And if you're just coming for the first time, hi, thanks for coming. You probably didn't know I also do daily morning reads, so don't forget to subscribe to catch all the ones for every portion of your life. But for right now, let's talk about the Four of Swords. This is the best card in the entire deck that is all about rest. Because every time this card pops up upright, it is all about taking a step back, regrouping, and recharging, which is something that none of us do nearly often enough. Because even with the image alone, you can see a very rested but ready face. Because let's face it, we are never, ever able to fully let go, but we should always attempt to fully let go of all that stress. And all the swords are down. They are not ready for battle. This is a guy resting, regrouping, and planning his next steps. He is going, okay, I am seeing everything around me. What needs my attention now? What can wait? And most importantly, what is going to be in my best benefit? Four of Swords is not about quitting at all. He is just quietly sharpening his skills and getting ready for the next thing. I definitely recommend it. If you'd like, take a screenshot of this guy and turn him into your wallpaper for whenever you need a reminder of rest. Or even if this isn't the artwork that's really vibing with you, a quick Google search, Four of Swords tarot card, you'll find all sorts of designs. But anytime that you ever need a moment, take a quick glance, take a moment to go, this guy says I can rest. I have now permission to take my moment and rest. It is silent reinforcement without any super effort, because we have our phones with us all the time. Why not make them actually beneficial, not for making us available to everyone, but beneficial for us to remember things that are actually important? Because rest is not a setback. And if you want to turn that into an optional text for your screen, rest is not a setback, you do it. Because all the reminders are all of the reasons why we are able to get through life anymore. Now, another thing, this is a slightly longer exercise that you can do before boundaries are needed, when you are in a good moment where you know that you are safe enough to have a longer chance to recharge and get ready for anything coming in the day, or even any planned things that you know are coming. And this is a good thing to do, even just for 5 minutes once a week, or again whenever you know something is coming. And one of those things is, say you've got an extra minute in the morning or before bedtime when you're taking your guided meditations, if you use them, take 5 minutes to just prepare yourself even. And say out loud, this is me protecting my flame. Because you can think it all day, every day, but anything that you say outward, you're more likely to notice. Think, whenever you say something in a very firm manner, like, this is me protecting my flame, that is putting your brain in that mindset of, I'm going to protect myself. I'm going to make sure that I am okay. I am going to take a moment for me. Preempt, and after you say, I am protecting my flame, preemptive rest is not selfish, it's intelligent. And a quick journal idea, if you would like to add that into your rest moment, if I ask yourself in your journal, if I take a moment here, if I take a rest here, if I take a second for myself right now, what am I preserving? What am I doing that I am making sure that I am my best for this day or the next day? Because the thing is I know that I am just as, if not more guilty than most people that I know, or even many of you. I will go and go and go until I collapse. And I know that's not healthy. And I've been, in the last few months, trying to take steps to change my direction, because once you're in this mindset, once you're in this routine of always on the go, it is hard to get out of that rhythm. It is hard to change your schedule and your honestly inset guilt, especially if it's set from childhood, to remember to take that pause, to take that step back, because you don't need to go and go and go to earn that rest. You don't need to suffer to be worthy of that moment. Take this as your permission to take a rest for you, because all that junk is going to be there later, but you're going to handle it better when you start taking these rests, when you start taking these moments to stop, regroup, and rest. Sorry, just making sure that we didn't miss any of my exercises. Actually, one of the exercises I forgot was a mantra that you can just say even if you're on the go. My flame does not have to be big to be powerful. I choose sustainability over depletion. What I protect can last. And you know what? Start saying that mantra over and over while you're driving, while you're making dinner, because the more you say it, the more it's going to stick and the easier it's going to be to help navigate. Because I know it's been helping me actually progress further into saying, okay, I could take this 5 minutes to just stop. I can take this 5 minutes to breathe and enjoy my monster. Yes, I know they're terrible for you, but it's my little treat for myself. Because you're allowed to take what you need without guilt. If you actually need that rest, you are allowed to have it. If this helped you out at all, please leave a like. I love knowing that I'm helping people progress that much further into a more healthy lifestyle than what society pushes on us. And don't forget to share this with your friends, because we all know one workaholic that just needs to stop. Have a good night.